Well, good morning everybody, and I hope everybody had a great week. Haven't had coffee for a couple weeks because remember last weekend me and my husband were going to go up north for the weekend, right? And go to the St. Croix Jazz Festival on on Saturday, which we didn't do, but I'll talk to you about that in a minute. So anywho, we decided just to take our time. We didn't rush. We just took a little road trip on the way up. And what I like to do is, like, if we've been going somewhere for a long time, or even if it's a new place, I guess, I like to Google map it. And I'll Google map like bars, taverns, restaurants, clubs, nightclub, whatever. And just to see what is in the area, you know, like I'll put taverns or bars or whatever, Polk County, Wisconsin, right? And then it will put little ding, 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 little red dots all over the map. Then you can zoom in on them and you can see where these places are. So that's what I did. I said, let's stop a couple places that we haven't been to either for like eons, or somewhere that we've never, and then, okay, so we did. So we found this place called Ducks, is it Ducks Bar? I think it's Ducks Bar. And I don't know if it's called Ducks because of the quack quack ducks or if that's their last name, I'm not sure. And apparently this bar has been in this position, in this spot for like 10 or 12 or 15 years or something like that. We didn't, and it's probably only off the beaten path of us going up north by maybe 4 or 5 miles. So not very far. And it was apparently on somewhere else, and then the road got expanded, which it did, and then they found this spot. But anywho, so we went to this place called Ducks, and it looked like a place that was like way up north. And when we go to the lake, it is up north. It is, you know, there's central Wisconsin and there's north Wisconsin, and it's kind of like halfway between the tippy top of, you know, here's central, the tippy top, it's kind of like, so it is above central Wisconsin. It is northern Wisconsin, but I always think of up north to me is up by Hayward, farther north. I never think of us up north, but it is. So, but it totally had that, up, way up north vibe of you walk in and these people who own the bar are very, very avid hunters. And how do you know that? Because there were a lot of taxidermy stuff all over the place. One wall must have had 15 plus shoulder head mounts on one wall. There is cougars and bobcats and beavers and bears, and one full bear that was standing up in a great big glassed encase. It must have stood, you know, with its arms up or whatever, must have stood 9 feet tall. It was in this huge, can you imagine the tens of thousands of dollars that it must have taken to taxidermy all that stuff? And we are not hunters. My husband would never hunt in a million, he's such an animal lover, would never hunt in a million years. And I like to fish. I wouldn't ever shoot anything or whatever. And my son Seth, I think he shot a turkey one time, and he just does not care for hunting whatsoever either. He's a big animal lover, even though he doesn't want you to know that. But my son Zach will go shoot deer and turkey, and you know, that to each their own. That's everybody's own decision, and to a certain point, because there isn't a lot of natural predators anymore for the deer population. You know, we don't have cougars, and I guess we do have cougars around here, or not right here, but like 10 miles over Valleyway there's cougars and stuff like that. But the deer don't have a lot of natural predators anymore, except, you know, when they get smucked by a deer, but I don't consider that nature. And so the population has to be controlled. Otherwise what happens is there's overpopulation for, unfortunately, the dwindling living area that they have, and then they can starve to death and get a lot of illnesses and stuff. So it is healthy for the population to have a certain amount of hunt, and it's very well controlled by the DNR and stuff. So anyway, there's like, we're just like, what? There's a lot. Not only did they have like lots of taxidermy stuff all over, but they had like pictures of them with their, oh Lord. And we went in there to have a little snack to eat. They're kind of like, I don't like looking at all this stuff hanging over and having a snack. So we did not have any type of hamburger or any type of meat product. We just had little deep fried snack-em stuff. I don't think I could have ate in there anyway, you know. And we do eat like hamburger and stuff like that, and chicken, but we're not like steak, and I will make a roast once in a while, but we're not like a hunk of meat steak whatever eaters. We're kind of like ground beef and chicken. I say most of our diet's chicken and fish, but we do eat ground beef sometimes, and once in a while we'll have a steak on a grill, and in the winter sometimes we'll have a roast, but not very often. So anyway, we had a little snack. It was just kind of an eye-opener. We had never been in there before. It was really a beautiful bar, though, for the fact that's the way, you know, it was an up north bar. And it was all knotty pine, and it was beautiful. So we sat there, had a little snack, and kind of road tripped around and stopped at a couple other places. And went up north and met up with my brother and sister-in-law and had a couple cocktails and made it pretty, I think we were in bed by 11 or 11:30 or so, not really late. And the next day we were going to go to the jazz festival. Well, the weather was, storms were coming in, hail was coming in, wind was coming in, all this different weather stuff, and not one storm system, but different storm systems that were supposed to cruise through just right where we are, right? I don't want to go up there and deal with the crowds, and the crowds all trying to get into the tent because the food vendors were supposed to be like all over the grounds so you could walk through the vineyards. And oh, I thought, I don't want to mess with it. My husband says, I don't want to mess with that either, and I don't want to go out and have to be stuck inside. So we decided to stay at the campground, and what did we do? Well, I'll tell you. We sat around all afternoon and had coffee and visited with my brother Dean and my sister-in-law Lisa. It was lovely. It was a nice relaxing day. We kept the weather channel on the TV because we don't get very many stations up there, and just were kind of like, oh, look at the storm, and oh, it's going to hit us, and so that was our big thing, and just catching up with family, what everybody was doing and whatnot and stuff. And then before we knew it, it was like evening time. We went down and had an evening cocktail at the bar, and it was fun to go up there because every time we go up to the resort now, Luke has done some little thing inside the bar and changed it up, graded it or approved it. And then the campground, there's always something more cleaned up or taken out, or somebody else has moved out. And it was like, oh, the crappy campers are dwindling. Every time you go up, there's like another one gone and another one gone, because he said at the end of the season, they got to be out. Whereas mine's going to stay there until the end of the season because it's going to be a mess. And I think it's going to be, you know, like a big project for whoever is going to salvage it out, because it's a big camper. It's like 40 feet long and got that great big side, not shed, but side attached porch, I guess you'd call it. That must be, I don't know, 10 by 12 or something. So it's big, and then all that other stuff that's all around it. So it's going to be a big undertaking. So we're just going to wait, stay in the old Vessi until the end of the season and let them take it out then. And then bring in the new camper in the spring. So we had a nice visit and caught up and saw the new goings on, caught up on all the gossip around the campgrounds and stuff. And then just stayed down, had some cocktails, came back, watched, what did we watch? We got our old VHS player up there. So that's where my VHS tapes went to die, is up north. we watched, I think, The Mummy 1 and 2 or something, and went to bed and woke up about, I guess it was about 3 o'clock. I don't know why. Wide awake. Both of us couldn't sleep at the same time. It wasn't like one woke up the other one. We were just awake. And a storm was going through and stuff, but that I can sleep through the biggest storm that you wouldn't believe. The house could be almost being blown over. I probably sleep through it because I sleep. I'm a light sleeper, but if there's a storm, I sleep like a baby. I'm out for some reason. Storms are just like, whook. That's my thing. But this, you know, other people are like, they can't sleep during storms. So I'm like, do you hear something in the kitchen? I hear something like rustle, like paper or something. Because I hear the breathing. Oh, I think there's a mouse out in the garbage, you know, because we just use like a little Walmart bag and hang it on a knob out there because there's not much garbage when it's just the two of us up there. Oh, I said, well, I'm not, that mice, I don't care if it's at home or up here, that's your duty. Oh, I hate mice. So, and he's just freaked out about snakes too. I don't like them either, but, so I said, go tie it up and just throw it outside and they'll eat its way out and get out of the bag. So he did that, and then I thought, I still heard something. I'm like, no, maybe not. So we got up in the morning and my husband goes, oh my gosh, it's 10:30. I'm like, oh, I can't believe we slept that late. We didn't go to bed that late. So we got up and had our breakfast, and I'm like, hey, found out it was the bread. I had forgotten. Never leave anything out up north. Never. Because they sniff it. They're like my puppy dogs. They'll sniff it right out. And so we got into our last 3 pieces of bread for our toast for breakfast, and there's remnants of that. So I threw that out, got I had the grippy tub of Clorox wipes, Lysol'd it, Cloroxed everything down, and we just had plain eggs and leftover sausage for breakfast. And then Oh Lord, it was 10:30 already, my husband said. So I said, well, let's get the garbage up and go, because I wanted to go on a couple more walks before we left. So we did a campground walk and walked down the lake, and then we took our coffee down to the bar, and we figured, gosh, it must be about 11:30. I'm like, gosh, doesn't the bar open up at, we weren't going to the bar though. Doesn't the bar open up like at 11 or 12? And I'm like, gosh, or 10 or 11, and he wasn't there yet. I wonder if Luke overslept or what's the deal, or somebody called in. And so we sat and finished our coffee, nobody. I'm like, wow, they're really late, because by now it's got to be 12. They're not even there by 12. So we walk up to my brother Dean's place, and we're saying, yeah, Luke didn't show up, you know, and it's already 12. And he goes, well, what do you mean it's 12? And I said, well, time we got up and did this, that, and the other thing must be pushing 12. And he goes, it's 10:20. What? It's 10:20 right now? I'm like, I looked at Gary. I said, Gary, did you look at your phone for the time? And he goes, well, no, the clock on the, remember the clock in the living room doesn't work, and it's always 10:30, so it's correct twice a day, in the morning and at night. So it was only like, we figure 8:30 or something when we got up. So this is only 10:20, which was good, because then we had all this extra time, because we were ready to go and we were to move out and get rolling for the day. And so we went and got binoculars, because behind my brother's, back in the backwaters, is a great big huge eagle's nest, and the eagle had, like every year, had a chick, which is as big as the mom, and almost as big as the mom and dad, but still brown, doesn't have the white head. So we got the binoculars out, and we're doing some eagle watching. So then we got to go on 2 more walks before we left, and I had time, and I got to fill up my hummingbird feeder and my bird feeder and put my suet out and all that. So the birds, not like they don't have food when I'm gone, but I just like to give them a little treat. So when they come back, they're like, hey, she's back. Maybe bring some more food. We'll hang out there so I can look at them through my window. So we did that, and then headed home, and sorry about that. I had to delete some stuff off my memory card because I was running out of time. So anyway, went for a couple walks and finished up, and then headed home for the week. And that was kind of our weekend and the typical work week and stuff. And yesterday I stayed home, and I did not go shopping. I did not go to Red Wing, because I got my grocery shopping done earlier in the week. So I started purging my regular people clothes, because I have, you know, I got most of my clothes. I'd say, I don't know, 80+% of my clothes are vintage clothes. Not counting socks, undergarments, and pajamas, but everything else. And I usually wear vintage, except at my job, of course, because I have to wear scrubs there. But any other time out and about, I wear vintage clothes. Excuse me. I'm drinking some of this strong coffee. I wear vintage clothes, except at the lake if I'm fishing, or if I'm doing heavy-duty cleaning, light housework. I wear my house dresses. Or if I'm doing like stuff out around the campfire and stuff, because I don't want any ash or anything to burn my dresses or anything to get, you know, they've been 50+ years old, I don't know what happened to them. So I went through my regular people clothes, because you got to have a certain amount of non-vintage clothes for, you know, business appropriate things, or funerals, or, you know, just certain things that I suppose you could wear vintage clothes if you wanted to. And maybe if I had nicer vintage clothes, I guess most of my vintage clothes are like house dresses or housewife type dresses, or I do have some nice summery going out things in a couple, but I don't have a heck of a lot, or they're like really kind of over the top fancy that you couldn't wear that to something. So I do have a small selection of regular people clothes that are not vintage for situations that you need to wear them in. So I decided to go through those yesterday, because I have stuff that I haven't worn for years, doesn't fit me, and I got rid of anything that I haven't been that size within the last 5 years, plus or minus. Not plus. I'm about pushing my top, but what my lowest weight has been in the last 5 years. I kept those, you know, because my weight's all over the place. You know, I was on that big gung-ho thing last year. I was going to lose that weight, and then I didn't. Or was at the beginning of this year. Well, it's probably every year. I think I'm going to lose weight, and then I end up putting 5 more pounds on or something. I'll get there one of these times. I don't know. I start these diets, not even diet, try to start eating healthy, and then I fall off the wagon after about a month, because I just get lazy and tired of doing it, and it's just awful and sad. And I try to eat healthy, but I like stuff that isn't. But I do not exercise. I don't go to the gym and stuff, but I walk a lot. In my job, I'm on my feet all day, and I like to take walks all the time also. So I am mobile and up and going. It's not like I'm doing nothing that way, but I should get on the treadmill and put more miles on my little feet and get rid of some of that weight that I don't know. I'll get that one of these days. So anywho, went through my clothes and got rid of and I've already got rid of the shoes that I cannot wear on my feet anymore because of my plantar fasciitis on my one foot. So I only have sensible shoes. I think I have one high-heeled shoes that were my black satin shoes that I wore for when me and my husband got married. Got married at the courthouse, and we wore all black. Not to be morbid or not depressing or anything. I did the white. He did the big white wedding the first time around, and so did I. So we just did very classic black, which everybody liked because, you know, you could just bling your black stuff out. It was in January, and it was like one of the coldest January days. I think the wind chill was 40 below. It was unbelievably cold that day. And that little party bus that we took around, the heat didn't work in it. Oh Lord. It was I tell you, it's a good story to tell. Maybe I'll tell you sometime that whole night. Oh Lord, I like a good story. Everybody's like, oh, I don't usually ever get upset if something goes wrong or not as planned, because I tell you, it's a story for when you're later and you're older and you're sitting around having coffee and talking about, do you remember that time you got a good coffee story? So, anywho, I went through my clothes and purged those and got rid of that. Some stuff I had listed on a local garage sale site off Facebook and got rid of one dress, one down. And if I don't get rid of the other ones, because they're beautiful dresses that I got good deals on, but I'm not. One's a beautiful Liz Claiborne all lace, beautiful dress. I got a good deal on it. That's why I bought it. But I'm never going to wear it. At my age, I'm not going to wear a all white. I'm never getting married again. This is the last one. So just because it's a good deal, you bought it? Yep, that's what I do. So I went through that and I whittled it down. I whittled it down to what I would need it for other things in my life other than when I wear my vintage. So I have that. I have that wardrobe I went through. Then I have my mod cloth, which is, you know, the vintage inspired clothing that you can buy, and it's cute and kitschy stuff. And that's kind of I wear that. So I guess not all the time I wear vintage, but I wear my vintage inspired mod cloth, and then I'll accessorize it with vintage jewelry, cardigans, vintage inspired shoes and stuff like that. So I dress up my mod cloth very vintagey kitschy. And then my vintage clothes, which, as we know, takes up a closet and a half in the house. And the closet in my vintage camper, but that is for camper specific outings and stuff. So polyester, disco-y type stuff. So I was going to just take my vintage stuff that I didn't want and get rid of it at Salvation Army. But then, because the wheels go in my head, my fear was that somebody will just use it for costumes. And I told you I was fine with that, right? If somebody just wants it, as long as they're using it. Like, no, because some of the stuff is in really nice condition. And I don't want somebody who gets it, just rips it up or shreds it or, oh Lord, because it's made it 50 plus years. And then and if it's something that's indecent, oh, I don't want it, oh, I couldn't live with it. So what I decided to do was open an Etsy shop. And I got that gung-ho this last week, and I thought, I'm going to do that. So I got online, I opened this Etsy shop up, but you got to have an item to list. Well, I don't have anything to list yet. I just got rolling with this, right? So I put a scarf on there that I really like the scarf, and it's got a couple snags and a little teeny hole in it, but I wore it. It's nice, like, for around your neck. I wear it in my ponytail, and I have also put it on my purse as an accessory. So anywho, I put it, and I marked it up a little bit high because I thought, don't anybody buy it, because I'm not ready to ship anything, because you got to get like shipping envelopes and this and that. So anyway, it's an Etsy shop, but it's not started yet. I'll get to it. That's going to be a winter project. My puppy's in here, and I have a pile of stuff and she just made a little nest, and she just curled up in it. So anyway, that's going to be a winter project, is to get this Etsy store up and going, because it's going to be a short-lived Etsy store, hopefully not more than a year or so, because I want to get all the items that I have and I've had through the years. And I have some vintage clothes that I've had for, lordy, 20 plus years, at least, that I've had for years, that I picked up at going, psst, puppy, psst, psst, psst. Hey, come making a nest on my skirt that fell on the floor, and it's one of my new ones I got. She's probably looking at me like, hey, it's on the floor. I know, it just fell on the floor. So anyway, she just laid on it. Great, it's gonna smell like dog now. Anyway, so I got some clothes from way back that I got from when a business was going on a sale. I got them for a steal of a deal. When I used to do, way back in the day, I'll have to tell you about it, I used to rent out Halloween costumes during Halloween time. I'll tell you that, at Halloween time. So I got some beautiful, beautiful like party vintage dresses that I'll never wear because it looks like the people must have had like itty bitty teeny waists and stuff, and I would never fit into them, but they were such a beautiful dress that I picked them up and I packed them away, and I've had them for years. I probably got maybe 6 or 7 of these beautiful old vintage dresses, and some of them are pretty good shape. Some need a little TLC and some seamstressy on them, but I kept them all these years, and I thought, I want somebody to wreck them. They made it this long. So I thought that's gonna be my project. I got so many projects, but that's gonna be my winter project, is get this stuff that I'll never be able to wear. Why are you hanging on to it, Mary? You're never gonna fit into it. My cousin Christy, and she's petite, she'll never fit into it. Get it out there to somebody who will enjoy it for its vintageness and not wreck it and make it into a Halloween costume or rip it up, or you know, some people will take it and they'll make beautiful pillows out of it and this and that, but I'm like, oh, I don't want anything. I want somebody to wear it. There's got to be people. There's tons of people out there that real petite. You know, it's probably some of them are size 4s. I know there's lots of size 4. I'll never be I don't know when I was a size 4. First grade, maybe. I don't know. So that's one of my projects I'm working on too. And then just do the camper stuff. But I'm not going to really get over there and start doing stuff until it cools down because it's too warm. But I've been getting stuff for the camper. Got my curtains in for the camper, and I did put some pictures on my Facebook page of my kitchen curtains and my living room curtains. So they're on my Facebook page. And then you know what you do? Go shopping around your house, because through the years, like my bathroom, I've done all in that Robin Egg Blue Vintage, but it used to be kind of seascapey, you know, fishing or whatever in there. So I kind of had my vintage stuff and the fishing stuff in there because it's nice stuff, but I wanted it to be all just vintage. So I thought, perfect, that will go over to the camper. So I kind of went shopping in my own house and realized that I had items throughout my house that would go in the vintage camper that don't really per se go with anything in my house, but I've just had them from either trips, because we've taken 8 million cruises, or done a lot of stuff water related, so we've had like water type souvenirs that would go in the camper. So I'm shopping in my house, kind of accumulating everything together, washing the curtains, you know, ironing them, getting them all prepped for when I get to this fall, when I powerhouse clean it and start decorating it, which is going to be really fun. So I'm getting all the elements together for that. So that's what's going on with me, just kind of doing stuff in the house. Like I said, I'm going to have, I decided to get like a tote, and that tote is going to be, okay, this is my Etsy shop stuff. You know, and I love to make, as you can see, hair flowers, and there's such cute hair flowers on Etsy and stuff. And I love making them. It's kind of a fun little crafty thing to do. So I thought I would sell little hair flowers maybe on Etsy too, because I like making them. It's a nice little wintertime craft to sit down and do them. And I got a little, what's it called? Tutorial, I guess, or how do I make my vintage hair, rockabilly hair flowers. So I'm going to try, if I remember, I'll link it below. It wasn't a very good video because I didn't have the camera quite centered where it should be, but you kind of get the gist of how to do it. So I thought maybe I'll make some flowers over the winter and then sell them on my Etsy shop. I guess I'm not doing this to make profit per se, just to pay for the shipping and handling part of it and to pay for the product, and something to do, I guess. Everybody goes stir crazy in Wisconsin in the winter. So that's what's going on with me. I think that's about it. Just last weekend, I don't think I'm even going to go up. I don't usually go up to the month of August because it's hot and humid and skunky and the water gets kind of funky. I like September when it gets a little bit cooler at night. Excuse me, you can really enjoy the campfires. And then in September, I'll be starting, every time I go up there, I'll be bringing something home because the end is near. So I'll be getting rid of a bunch of stuff and figure out what do I need for my new camper, what do I want to keep, and then it will be up for grabs for family. Like, okay, this is the stuff that I don't want, doesn't fit into my new camper. Come and help yourself. It's open for free business. Come and get it out. So that's what's going on with me. It was nice having coffee with you. I hope I kept it shorter. You know, this is the second time I did this. I don't know if I said that already, but my camera's making noises, and I did think I was taping, but then I was taping. I don't know how many times I have done that. I am so bad about that. I wish my little camera had like a light on the front of it that was like red, so that I knew that I was not just talking to myself and I was talking to you guys, but it doesn't have that. But my next camera, I hopefully will. So because I can't remember how many times that I've had that I haven't been taping, or I didn't think I was taping and then I quit and then I was taping, and it's a big mess. You can tell I'm so technically skilled, right? So everybody take care. Do we have coffee again? I think maybe next week. I'm trying to think. I think I might have a long weekend next weekend because when we have like the doctor's on vacation and stuff, then we have overstaffage. So everybody is periodically, would you like to take a day off without pay? And I'm like, yes, I would love to take a day off without pay, so then it won't chip into your vacation bank, you know, use your PTO. You can, you know, you can take a day off here or there and you don't financially really notice it. So I think it might be next weekend, and if that's the case, I'll be going up north, but I don't remember. So it'll be either 1 week or 2 weeks for sure that we'll be having coffee again. So everybody take care and pick your tomatoes wherever you're. I don't know about you guys, but my tomatoes are crazy. My grape tomatoes look like big clusters of grapes. We go by and pick them and eat them as we go, and I've had BLTs with them and just plain old tomato sandwiches. So everybody, if the harvest is begun, I mean, it's been harvesting for a couple of weeks, but the tomatoes are going crazy. And I know, I thought I was done too. Right over this way, out this window, when I look, I have an old grapevine, and I know the lady who originally built this house, and she put it in like in mid-70s, she put that, and it's still, and I thought, because I don't prune it and clip it, and I got to watch a YouTube video to see how to do that because I don't want to kill it, and I thought it's been dead a couple times, but it's come back and it's full of grapes. If I can get the grapes before the birds get the grapes. One year, turkeys ate all my grapes. I was not happy about that. So, and I have made wine. One year the wine turned out, it was great. One year I made a whole batch of wine the old-fashioned way, not with any fanciness, and it turned to vinegar. And if I would have been thinking, and I just chucked it, what was I thinking? Why didn't I keep it? Because it was great grape vinegar that I could have used for so many things. Oh Lord, and all that work for that, oh Lord. But anyway, so we'll have a good grape crop, and I don't know if I will try to make wine again. If I do, I might make a smaller batch so it's not so daunting that you have this huge batch of grape wine. And I stomped them with my feet, but I had garbage bags on my feet. But I did the whole way that way, and I'll maybe make some grape jelly or something, or jam. I don't know. I'm going to go out. You know what I'm going to do when we're done having coffee here? I think I'm going to go out and take some pictures of my tomatoes because they look so beautiful and yummy. And then maybe show you a picture of my grapevines so you can see what my grapes look. And it's a big, I'll tell you right now, and you see these grapevines, it's a great big mess because it's behind my shed. But I'll show you anyway. So everybody take care until we have coffee again in 1 or 2 weeks. And then I'll post my little pictures of my the cornfield across the way because that came back so nicely after that huge windstorm that we had. And my grapes and my grape tomatoes and bigger tomatoes. So everybody take care. Until next time. Bye everybody.